Hey guys, Dr. Mo here, the Renaissance Man, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about something, and I definitely want to talk to the men out there, because I believe that somewhere along the line, the narrative has been confused from the beginning in terms of men and how we should act and how we should internalize and process things. And I just want to address this with the men because I want the men to know that it's totally okay to experience the things that we're going to talk about today and still maintain your masculinity and your throne as the man. I personally have experienced each of these things, and I can assure you that I'm 100% man, and you too can be who you are while experiencing these things as you go from your day to day. So without further ado, let's just talk about number one. So men, it is totally okay to not have all the answers. Many times in life, we feel like we have to have the answers because we are the men. Well, rest assured, the women that we are interacting with are equally as strong as we are and can take on some of the load. So if we don't know the answer to some of the things, we don't have ample time to research, phone a friend, male or female, to get the answers that we need in order to move forward. But we don't have to have all the answers. Two, we can definitely seek therapy and counseling. I can tell you that although I'm in the mental health profession, I have been also a recipient of the mental health services that are provided. And I'm perfectly okay with it, and I'll tell the world that mental health, when used appropriately, therapy and counseling, and sometimes even medication, can be extremely effective in helping us deal with our day-to-day and the tasks and the things that we encounter in life. So men, yeah, it's okay. Get some therapy if you need it, and be a better you, a better version of yourself. Crying. I can tell you that there are times in my life that I've been a crybaby, and I have cried with family and friends, and sometimes even clients. And I'll continue to cry as needed. Sometimes crying lifts a burden off of you. So definitely, if you need to cry, even if you have to cry in private, find a place and cry. Let it out, yell, scream, do whatever you need to do to release some of that negative energy or some of that hurt or anxiety. It's definitely perfectly okay, man. We can cry. We are crying, but we can cry and it'll be totally fine. And we'll feel better about it. Expressing our feelings is totally okay. You can talk about your feelings and not be judged. Just be careful who you talk to about your feelings. Personally, if I'm feeling some type of way about something that I'm encountering, I'm going to talk to someone, because I personally cannot hold it bottled. I can't internalize it. I've been that person, and I was that person for a very long time, and ultimately, not only did it hurt me, it hurt everyone around me. So again, it's okay to express your feelings and talk about it. The other thing that's totally okay that I had to come around to is expressing my fears. Yeah, we're men and we're macho and we're not supposed to be scared. This man right here is scared sometimes. And for the longest time, I would internalize it, and it would show up in different ways and in different relationships, personal and professional. But since I've realized that, you know what? I can express the fact that I just am not too comfortable with something and I'm somewhat scared. It's just like going to the doctor, to the dentist. I just personally don't particularly care for the dentist. I go because I need to go. But again, I don't particularly get excited and start singing happy songs about going to the dentist. I have a great degree of fear when it comes to dental work. Now, before I would internalize it, but now when I'm talking to the dental professionals and they ask, I tell them, I'm a little apprehensive about what you're doing today. And in fact, I really don't want to do what I'm doing today, but I'm doing it because it's going to make my health better. It's going to keep me here longer, and that is the reason why I'm doing it. Other things, I'm a war veteran. I was in the U.S. Navy, and there were times throughout the course of my enlistment that I was afraid. Not as expressive as I should have been, but definitely I learned at that point that I needed to be able to express in order to survive. So definitely, if you are fearing something, it's totally okay to express that, either to someone near or far, but definitely don't internalize it, because there are people that are willing to hear from you and to support you and walk you through that fear. The other thing I would say is the one thing that I have struggled with the most, and I will be totally transparent with you, is being vulnerable. It's just something about being vulnerable that equated to being weak to me that I had to get over quickly, because I realized that my lack of vulnerability was causing me a lot of heartache and strife and causing me misery, while everyone around me were living their best life. And I had to get to a point where I made myself more vulnerable so that I could be more engaging to people and they would be able to relate to me. I didn't want to appear to be so stoic or so manly that I was less human and less approachable. So definitely being vulnerable puts you in a space where people can relate to you and what you're going through, and it ultimately makes you feel much better as an individual. The other thing that I've done well, and I would encourage you to do, is raise your hand if you need help. If there's something that you're encountering and you need help, by all means, reach out. Let someone know, I need help. Dr. Mo need help. I don't care who you are, what position you hold in this country, what position you hold in your home, in your relationships. Everyone needs help at some point. Be the person that raises your hand and say, I need help, and get the help that you deserve, instead of holding it in and wreaking havoc internally and causing people havoc all around you that may interact with you because you're so frustrated because you need help, you're not getting help, and you are overwhelmed. The last thing I would say is that it's perfectly okay to not be okay. If you're not okay, it's perfectly okay. We all get to a point of confusion or overwhelmingness where we feel like we just cannot go on. If by chance you find yourself there, you are no different than the vast majority of people. I just ask that you recognize that you are having a moment and make sure that it's a short moment and continue about your day. Sometimes if you can't get beyond the fact that you're just having a moment, you need to exhale, you need to stop what you're doing, and if you need to, you may need to process with someone. Hey, I'm having a very difficult time right now. If that is the case, by all means, reach out to someone. Reach out to your support system, reach out to those in your circle, reach out to a professional, but by all means, do not internalize those things that because you are having a moment. It does not mean that you're weak. In fact, it means that you're strong when you can recognize that you're not okay and you're reaching out, you're phoning a friend so that you can be okay and that the people that care and love you can be okay too. So men, it's totally okay to experience any of these things and still be a strong, healthy man. I'm Dr. Mo. I hope that this has helped you in some way. By all means, please share this information, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.